Why creation is relevant today and is not dangerous, at least in the United States, where we have a First Amendment right to our own belief system, and that the government of the people and by the people and for the people cannot establish one belief system over another or interfere with the free exercise thereof. See, these are all rights within the United States. It's part of the Constitution, it's part of the Bill of Rights. So why is it really relevant? Well, the founders of this nation were able to write, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men were created equal, and that they were endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." And it's the purpose of governments to ensure that we keep these rights. That's the basis for our liberty and our rights in the United States, is the self-evident truth that all men are created equal and that they're endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. So whether you're the white man, the native, the black man, the Asian, the people from all over different parts of the world, whether it's India or Spain or Mexico, at least the concept that they had and what was self-evident to them is that we were all created equal. Granted, that doesn't mean that human beings are going to treat each other that way, but it was self-evident that we were created that way. Now, these guys didn't have a great deal of science, but we flash forward now a couple hundred years and they've sequenced the human genome. And it's true, on a cellular level. I watched Dr. David Page. He's the head of the Whitehead Institute at MIT, and he was part of that sequencing. And he does a lot of study on the chromosomes, on the Y chromosome. And he says, yes, you can look it up on YouTube, well, Why Sex Matters, Dr. David Page. And he says, yes, indeed, men are 99.9% equal. That's like the Indy cars. They make them drive all basically the same car. They put different drivers in them. Different people make the engines. Different people make the parts. But they're all the same kind of car, basically. And it's true with human beings. Except Dr. Page pointed out that women are like 99.5% different or similar to men. But all women are 99.9% equal to other women. But there is, and there's an obvious anatomical difference between men and women. And I looked up the Neanderthal genome, and they says, oh yeah, Neanderthal is like 99.7% on a cellular level, the same as modern human beings. In fact, they've proved in modern human beings that we've got some of us have some Neanderthal DNA. Well, for that to happen, we had to be able to reproduce. Neanderthal had to be able to reproduce with those who carry on those traits that are called modern man. So we come back to this, what was self-evident truth, that we're all created equal. And that's why creation is relevant. Then you go to the teachings of Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ said, in the beginning he made them male and he made them female. And Genesis also said the kind will reproduce after its own kind. So you can see that throughout time, we're still all basically the same. Which is, at least on a cellular level, there's no evolution. So the concept that we are created equal and that there was a creation is relevant to the Christian belief system. It's also relevant to science in the sense that we can see it on a cellular level, but in the United States it's relevant because that's where our rights come from. We're not subject to, well, we're not supposed to be subject to just the whim of who's ever stronger. Might does not make right, supposedly, according to our Declaration of Independence, upon which we, went and launched our effort to be free from the oppressiveness of the British throne. So yeah, they've sequenced the human genome, and it's true. All men are equal. Even Neanderthal really isn't that far different. So the difference between a Neanderthal man and a modern man is not enough to stop them from breeding, which is true for modern man, Doesn't matter what shape, color, or anything. You can get mixtures of every race. We're that equal. In fact, the blood will transfer, despite the color, culture, and other man-made differences, or sometimes, actual physical differences. The blood transfers through all of the human beings. So we're all equal. We run on the same blood, we breathe the same air, we run on the same food, and we were created that way. It was self-evident. And Jesus, his teaching is, oh yeah, in the beginning, he made them male and he made them female. So it's relevant to the Christian faith. It's relevant to science in the sense that, and I'm repeating myself, that genetically we're equal. So after thousands of years, or if you believe in the evolutionary theory, and that you'd have to say after millions and billions of years, so much change has happened that we're equal. Think about that one. You've got to reason through the concept that from the beginning we've either stayed exactly the same or close enough to the same that we can interbreed and share blood, or that from a beginning we have what? Not changed. You think about that one. That's what our genes say. That's why creation is relevant. It predicted, the Genesis account says, well, they'll reproduce after their own kind. Now you probably have to talk to a Jew to completely understand the meaning of kind from the Hebrew text. But in modern English, well, that's the same kind of vehicle, or that's the same kind of truck, or that's the same kind of airplane. We've got an understanding. It's not real scientific, but again, creation isn't science. It's a matter of faith. But science doesn't disagree with it. The science that we have. And that's my short talk on it. I mean, I've studied it, I've read the Bible. They're all created equal. And for human beings, we haven't changed. We haven't changed, not throughout all of mankind's recorded history. Our behavior really hasn't changed either when you think about it. We're all the same race. We're all the same species. If you want to go back to common ancestors, well, how about Noah and his wife? We can do that. So all men are created equal. Creation is relevant because Jesus actually said so, upon which we base our rights. Enjoy.